And just today I worked very hard to protect Suriname against a very, very large cybercrime attack, which is originated in Pakistan and at this moment shut down several hundreds of websites in the Caribbean and also in Suriname. And this is maybe a thing that we can realize how dependent we are on internet and ICT. And governments and also ICT companies should be aware of that, very, very much aware. Because maybe it's not that much in Suriname. In the Netherlands, where I lived many years ago, and I lived 2 years ago in the Netherlands for a short while, and I live in Suriname already for 2 years now, I see the difference between how we use internet here and how we use it in Europe. And in Europe, everything is depending on internet. And the payments are, the banks are, our social communities are, our GSM network is. Everything we do through IP transmissions. IP transmissions is what you do on the internet. And we as a community, we as people, we make a shift, we change. Because, for instance, I give you an example. If you use a lot of the internet, and if you try to find your information through the internet, you read from the screen, and you all recognize that. If you read from the screen, you pick the words. You don't read the whole page, you don't do that. So you pick the words. I need this, I need this, I need that, you go to the next page. I need this, and this, go to the next page. You're searching through internet constantly. And what will happen in a short while, 6 months, a year, 2 years, is that you are not able anymore, not good able anymore, to read a book. After you read the whole page, you become bored. And you skip pages, and you want to see the end. And this is what is going to happen now in the States. They did a test on Stanford University with young students, and they were not able to read a book for 100 pages. They just couldn't do it. They were so bored, they fell asleep. Because they were used to use the internet. So we have to realize that as a community, as humankind, we have to realize that using the internet and using ICT is also changing us. It's making us different people. What we learned and what we did and what we improved the last 30 years, we didn't do for 5,000 years. The next 5 to 10 years, we make a shift in technology which is not made by the past 200 years. I travel the world to see new innovations and new things and new devices. For instance, we all have this, and we are so fond of it. A lot of people have 2, and some people have 3. But it is terrible, believe me, because you put it here and somebody is trying to talk with you and you forget to take the thing with you. So I lost 2 in Suriname already. The big problem is, it's not handy and it's not nice to constantly stand like this. So this will go. And I saw it already. We are very afraid for implantates and for cyber technology, but in Japan they are now having a little knot here, and then you have your phone in your head, which is much easier, because you just do this and you have the conversation. There it is. Another thing what's going to change is we all have television. And you see, I was a former marketeer, and if you see that the spending on advertising on television is going down, then you know television is outdated. Because all the marketing exposure now goes to internet. So if somebody buys now a very large and big television, he maybe buys an old thing, which will be gone in maybe 2 or 3 years. And so I can go on and on and on. For instance, I can't read my daughter's WhatsApps. Can you? Okay, you want coffee? It is unbelievable the language they use. I can understand it. So my grandchildren, how will they communicate? Can we understand that? Can we believe that? My granddad was 97 years old. He had a GSM like this and big knots on it. It is very difficult to understand where it goes. If you take the law of Moore, every 18 months data will duplicate. That's not true anymore. It's quadruple. It's 4 times now. The technology is moving so fast ahead, and we are so dependent on technology that we have to understand that there will be gaps in society and also gaps in communities. That we have to be aware of that and help to improve the way we teach people how to catch up with that new technology. In Suriname, the technology is now exploding. There will be a speaker who will have a talk about a very new and a very innovative process with making things. Because making things is something we used to do in a fabric. Now they make a liver in a laboratorium with a printer. And you can't understand that, but it's really true. In Italy, they make a liver with a printer. And that's our future. And we have to understand that. And communities like Suriname can be on front of that because they don't have the inheritance that they have to go through that whole process of learning. They can start here. And if they start on the front of the technology, they don't need to go to all the old technology we have to use before. But then still we have to learn how our children speak to us, because that's really the biggest problem. I think it's 10 minutes now. Thank you.